So if you want to watch part 1 of the video, link will be in the description below, but basically what I did was I went through what I thought were the 5 worst albums so far in the year 2023. And I said that part 2, which is what you're watching now, would be what I think are the 5 best albums that have come out so far in 2023. So basically what we're doing, we're not putting them in any chronological order. That will be saved for the year-end list at the end of the year in December. I'm just basically giving you 5 albums this year that I have truly enjoyed, and the last one we are going to talk about in this video is going to be the one that I was the most surprised with. So now that you know the rules and know what's going on, without further ado, let's just get it started, shall we?
This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast.
So, it's complicated with me on this record, okay? Hear me out. In 2017, we got After Laughter from Paramore, great record. And then they kind of toured a little bit, went on a hiatus, Hayley Williams released 2 solo records. And then in 2022, they started teasing, and by September of that year, we got the title track as the first single, This Is Why. And I was definitely excited for this record, and when it first came out, I was listening to it nonstop because I loved it so much. But I think I wore myself out with it pretty quickly because it was the only thing that I would listen to for a while because I was just trying to take in that we finally had new Paramore after 6 years. And I still like the record, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's my favorite of the year for the sheer fact that I've pretty much heard a lot of the songs over and over again this year, that I'm just kind of getting tired of it, and that's more my fault for just kind of shoving this album down my throat when I should have spread out the listens as to when I was listening to it. It's 10 tracks, all the songs are great. There's even some songs that have really grown on me from the first couple of times that I listened, and the singles on this thing, chef's kiss. Really, really love what they got going for themselves. Kind of, you know, getting back into what their old sound used to be with the rock and the guitars, mixed in with what they used to do with After Laughter and all that kind of stuff, and it mixes fairly well when you look at it. The debut album by Boy Genius, simply titled The Record. Phoebe, Lucy, and Julian do their thing together, and they're just, I don't know what it is. They all just have that energy that when they're together, they're able to create something great. Whether it's Phoebe doing some sort of scream in the background or just the harmonizing, everything about this record was just so soothing in so many ways. One minute they're giving you this like soft ballad, and the next second they're giving you like this just catchy song where you know their anger because Phoebe's just screaming at the top of her lungs. Everybody does their job, and there's really not a down spot in this record at all. It is almost like nearly perfect, and that I can appreciate it for. And for a debut album, the anticipation, man, it was worth it. This band, I feel, gets unnecessarily hated on because their songs are so catchy that they get stuck in my head. Sure, is there some annoying songs in their catalog? Yeah, but I feel like it's another one of those things where most people overreact to a couple of songs and think, oh, this band's annoying. Like, a lot of people might think that Måneskin is like the new Nickelback, and even I think Nickelback is overhated in a lot of areas. But this album here, it's nice. I mean, I know it's kind of different from what they had been doing from their first record, but I really, really like the pop rock leaning sound that they go into. Everybody does their job. The intensity is just up here. Like, I mean, you want to dance, you want to sing. They're a very, very talented band, and I feel like people should give them more of a listen to kind of understand. Again, there's songs like Mamma Mia that kind of, you know, sound similar to other past songs like I Want to Be Your Slave, and, you know, having that same formula can be annoying, and that's probably what most people are complaining about. But for the most part, I like what they do, and am slowly starting to become a fan of this band. This album is so personal that it almost kind of cancels out their last record. And don't get me wrong, I liked Medicine at Midnight. A lot of people didn't. I did. But there's just something about this Foo Fighters record, But Here We Are, that just hits different because it tackles a lot of the topics of grief and death. And you know that the Foo Fighters and even Dave Grohl have been going through a lot in their lives with losing people that they love and people that they care about. Foo Fighters kind of go back to the old formula of the early 90s of the sound that they used to do, and they take this alt-rock album and kind of make it a concept, and it's just put together so well. You can just feel the pain that Dave Grohl is going through and the band is going through, with these soothing songs that are just, they don't overdo it, they kind of just play into perfection and stick with that throughout the whole record. And it's a relatable record in a lot of ways too for everybody, because like I said, with the Linkin Park song One More Light, how it's about losing someone that you care about and you can't seem to get over it, this is basically that song, but if Linkin Park's One More Light as a song was like an entire record, and I just can't get enough of it. But now, what is my most surprising record of the year? Well, it's actually by a band I like that I was really starting to lose faith in, but this album really reeled me back in, and well, just see for yourself.
Sending my love from the other side of the
I'm not gonna lie. I really thought Mania would be like the nail in the coffin for this band. I really, really did. But when they released the title track, Love from the Other Side, and they showed that they can still do like this alt-rock type of sound that they were doing from, say, Fully Ado, and also mixing in like the best parts of their post-hiatus albums, it made for a fun record. This was the most fun I have had with a Fall Out Boy record since probably Fully Ado. I mean, with American Beauty, American Psycho, Save Rock and Roll, there was stuff from those records that I did like, but it had me jumping all over the place that I could never fully enjoy it. And with Mania, that shit show just, I don't even know what they were trying to do. I never really even enjoyed listening to that record in full, other than maybe a couple of songs here and there. But this record, from start to finish, doesn't really have a down spot to it. I mean, there's those weird interludes kind of in between. They don't really falter the album. They lead into the songs that they're trying to intro very well. And like I said, for it being more of an alternative rock, pop rock mix with the best of their early days and the best of what they do now, it feels like this record shouldn't be this good, but it is. And I praise the band for just, going back and almost kind of being nostalgic in a way, not fully going back to the whole pop punk thing, still doing what they want to do, but at the same point in time keeping the fans happy and just continuing to make catchy songs that you can't help but sing along to. I mean, this was the return of the weird song titles for Fall Out Boy and the weird song lyrics that we were getting from Pete Wentz. I know during the post-hiatus albums there have been some weird lyrics, but like, we're getting those again, and even Pete Wentz shows up vocally for the first time since 2008's Fully Ado when he reads a spoken word poem that he wrote himself. So it's just kind of just throwing you back, and I think that's something that I think is really cool, and a lot of people doubted they would ever do again, but here they are doing it again, and it seems like they really enjoyed themselves, whereas with Mania, they were kind of having trouble figuring out what band they wanted to be at that time, what they wanted their sound to be. With this record, I feel like this is the one that they wanted to make 5 years ago, but could never come to that conclusion until now. So yeah, that is it for my 5 favorite albums so far in 2023. Would really like to hear in the comments below what have been your favorite albums so far this year, and even give me your most surprising. What is one album that you had little expectation for that just kind of came out of nowhere and surprised the hell out of you? But until then, that is it for me. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.